So yeah, I'm really happy to present what happened. It's really a wonderful experience. So where this came from is this book that you recommended us take a look at many months ago. Mm-hmm. And I just got around, not even to reading it, but to reading a bunch of Amazon reviews that just raved about it. So I reached out to Lorinda and I said, with the microgrant opportunity, let's put a workshop together and apply for a microgrant based on this book that neither one of us had actually read. We were just like really impressed by all the Amazon reviews.
I usually prefer the reviews that are like really bad. It's like
oh my god.
Oh no, these are almost nothing but 5 stars.
Nothing to do with the book. I'm
Seriously,
just like
yeah,
generally.
yeah.
I think reviews. I think.
Yeah. Oh no.
Please. Sorry.
So her and I went back and forth developing what it would be, and then we made the grant application, and then had some interaction with Leov of like, can you explain this better, or that type of stuff. So a little bit of exchange, and then saying, okay, so you got the grant. So a major part of the money was to buy copies of this book, and actually I had a conversation with Leov after the workshop was finished, and he said, so you have any grant money left? And I said, yeah, there was $100 that wasn't spent, and just figured, buy more copies of the book. So what happened is, Lorinda, who wanted to be here, was expected to be here. I had a half-hour conversation with her yesterday to lay out how we were going to present this, and then got an email from her like an hour ago saying that she just got a last-minute audition, and so she's working on the material for this audition. But I know what she was going to say, so I'll... We got together like 2 days before the workshop, and had like a 90-minute conversation about, we kind of knew what we were going to do, but like to really kind of break it down in detail in terms of who was going to do what and how it was all going to be integrated and all that kind of stuff. It was a really great conversation. And so the thing that we both landed on, and at this point neither one of us had completed the book, I was like 2/3 of the way through it, because the experience I'm having with this book is I would read like 5 pages and need to put it down for like a half an hour to digest what I just read, as well as to do whatever else I needed to do, and then would pick it up later on for another 5 pages.
I did the same.
Yeah, it's so
deep, yeah.
deep. It's so good. This is not a quick read. So it's written for the public, but I think it's really written for the medical community to convince them of the healing value of art being brought into the entire healthcare industry. That's like the agenda, but it's written for like everybody to read it. So in I think they did an amazing job. In 1 second, you think you're reading a college textbook, and the next second, you think you're reading, an arts zine article. It just goes back and forth. They really do a fantastic job. So what I did is, and I still have 2 sections to go. So the opening part of the workshop was me pulling out like short paragraphs as like quotable quotes, parts of the book that I thought really impacted me, and then handed it out to everyone. It was like 7 people showed up for the workshop, and then did sort of like a reading. People took turns reading a tiny excerpt, and then we had copies to hand out to everybody who came. With the idea of like that setting the stage for the next section, which was kind of Lorinda's section, which was a big, basically improv experience. So based on this material, trying to come up with some interactive improv things that would literally explore what the book is talking about, which is endorphins and serotonin. So it's like, so the whole point is like to now release these chemicals, which almost sounds like Nazism.
They're always releasing chemicals.
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, I just kind of took a buddy for that. But the idea was to like experience the book through this kind of guided interactive
Right, right,
improv workshop.
right.
And people like really understood what was going on. It was an extremely cool experience. And then the final part of it was for people who wanted to share what they've just experienced, like over the past hour. So it was really cool. It was just a wonderful energy to it. So the book separates art and aesthetics, but it defines both of them in broad enough terms that the idea is to kind of integrate them, even though the book treats them as separate things. And so the basic definition of aesthetics has to do with discovering, creating beauty in design and environment.
Yeah.
And so because of how they're understanding aesthetics and then trying to bring the arts into that, they have a section on nature. And that was the thing Lorinda and I like. And the reason it grabbed us more than anything else is because if you talk about like the creative, beautiful, healing power of nature, the thing we're talking about is like no service provider that I know of in Skid Row has developed this into any sort of a program of we're gonna go out to Griffith Park for the day, type of thing. I mean, like real obvious stuff that you can do. And then like 2 days after the workshop, I got like the regular newsletter that Little Tokyo Service Center sends out. So they've done something, I learned about it several years ago, coming out of Japan, a phrase forest bathing.
Oh,
Which is basically you go spend the time in the woods and you study the trees and you study the things that are growing and the little creatures that are there as healing, rejuvenation, et cetera, et cetera. So they call it forest bathing. Now the third thing, and this was the thing that Lorinda was kind of going to focus on, so I really wish she was here. So I don't know who saw this, but there was like a Lorinda movie night.
Yeah.
And there was like a 15-minute documentary made by Mary May, who, as part of her UCLA film project, spent like a year and a half tracking Lorinda, and it turned into a 15-minute documentary.
I remember them coming through here.
Yeah. And it was like really beautifully done.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, like 15 minutes long. It started off, it's Lorinda's story, kind of a story, domestic violence, homelessness, moving forward in various ways. But there's a lot of the festival.
Yeah.
The festival is a big deal. Her with Urban Voices project was a big deal. And there's so much to Lorinda, you could tell so many stories and put so many, emphasis on so many different things. So like the whole, art creativity scene of Skid Row is kind of like the main focus of this documentary. So it's really beautifully done. So then Mary spoke to me, and Lorinda already knew this, but it was news to me that like her huge project, like a feature-length thing that she's now focusing on, is a film around Mushroom Church. I'm like, okay, I have no idea what that means. But it's happened in Pasadena, like a Presbyterian church and some other place, where it's all about like the natural creative power of mushrooms, of like celebrating the power of the mushroom. And it's literally called like Mushroom Church. So Fulcrum Arts is based out of Pasadena. It's the fiscal sponsor
Of the Arts
of
Alliance.
the Arts Alliance. But like their basic mission when they do their own thing, it's integrating art and science. So their huge exhibit that they're just launching, it goes through mid-January, is called the Mushroom Boat. Because some artist built a boat out of mushrooms. I don't understand it. I'm just saying this is what's in the email, and has been on the waters in his mushroom boat paddling around. So there's an exhibit based on Mushroom Boat. So we want to go out and explore that as kind of like this quest of the aesthetics of nature as it relates to your brain.
Okay.
and art. So very interested in just continuing to like the research and development of this
Yeah.
thing, because there's some real clarity to it, but at the same time, it's, you know, definitely some question marks. But yeah, in terms of a next step, putting this into some sort of a narrative that can go in the zine, that would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah, there, yeah.
Good.